All right, let's talk Songwriting 101. Let's talk the structure or possible structures or the anatomy, as we would call it, of a song. All right? The first thing I would say is there are so many different ways to write a song. However, this is a basic songwriting class, so we're going to keep it simple, and I just want to give you a couple of formats, a couple of ideas, a couple of what we call foundations to where you can be as creative as you want, but if you won't venture off this path, you can at least be sure that you could write a song. You could put it into a structure that people could understand. I also want to say with that, but don't box yourself in. You know, the greats have created what they've created because they stepped outside the box. But for you that are in this class that are just trying to write a song or figure out the process that other people use, let's use some of these simple tools that I've learned over the years and that many songwriters use. The first thing that a song needs is usually an intro. An intro it can be free-flowing, it can be one note, it can be an entire instrumental section, a bass line to a guitar, a keyboard, an instrument, a cowbell. It really doesn't matter. The intro is what lets you know you're coming into the song. A lot of times the intro can just be the first 4 chords of the chorus or the first 4 chords of the verse or the first 2 chords of the verse. It's just simply a way to let us know we're getting started. It can also be what we call the hook of the song, which I'm not going to spend a lot of time on in this video, but a hook is super important if your goal is for the song to be memorable for years to come, for people to remember it. When I say the song Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, most people can hear that line in their head, the bass line in their head that starts that song. That's the intro. The next part of the song, we would usually form the song with what's called verses. It can be verse or verses. The verse is the part of the song that lets us know the history of what's going on in the story, and what's going to lead us into the release of what we want to sing or hear, which would be the chorus. The verses many times, depending on the genre, can be very lyrical or just whimsical or simple. It depends on the writer. It depends on what you're feeling for that song. The verse sets the tone for the emotion of the song as well. If this is a really, really happy song, then my lyrics for my verse are not going to start out melancholy. They're going to start out with some type of a history, a character, a person, or some way to let us know that we're building to joy in this song. All right? A good example of a verse would be Creedence Clearwater's song, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? So he starts out with that song, someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm, and I know it's been coming for oh so long. So now I know that there's a buildup of what this person has processed from other people, all right? The second part of a song, and not always used, is what we would call a pre-chorus. A pre-chorus can be used simply to shift the tone of the verse to let us know that we're coming into the big release of the chorus. It can be done with it melodically, it can be done with it with instrumental, and it can be done with it lyrically. Any version of one or all of those. A pre-chorus can be long, it can be short. It's just a bridge to let us know that we're shifting into the chorus. A lot of the pop genres these days and country genres are going to a pre-chorus style. Another key foundation to the anatomy of a song is the chorus. It's the part of the song where everybody is hoping that we'll get to. Hopefully up to this point, kind of a standard rule if it's industry or wanting to be played musically on radio or whatever, very often the time of lyrics, of verse to pre-chorus up to this point, can be as little as 40 seconds to a minute and a half, because we're trying to get to the chorus. That's the part of the song where oftentimes the vocal tone and the key goes up. So the song will be, the highest notes is what I mean. The highest notes of the song are usually played in the chorus. The emotion of the song is at its full release at that point. If my heartstring needs to be tugged on because this is a really sad song, the chorus is where you're gonna cry your tears. If this is a super joyful and hopeful song, after you hear the chorus, you're gonna want to go conquer the world. That's the part of the song where the biggest lift is. If we take that example of Creedence Clearwater's song that I mentioned just a few minutes ago, the chorus goes to, and I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? So now he has lifted the song up, because it was just a steady kind of Johnny Cash feel, you know, someone told me long ago, and it's just real steady and it kind of brings you in. And then the chorus hits and it says, and I want to know. He lifts it, but he's asking a question. So the shift of the song went from what he's processed from people to now he's asking you, have you processed this? Do you know this? What do you think about this? And so we know at that point we're either going to hop on board and sing or not. All right? Another part of a song that is these days, especially in modern times, a part that gets focused on a lot. It's almost as exciting as the chorus these days, is the part that we call the bridge. There's other names for it in other parts of the world. For me as a songwriter, I've always called it a bridge. The bridge, the best way to describe the bridge is freedom. It's a time where you can, you have some key rooms in your house, and this one room is the one that you love to show everybody. And you go in there for a little while, but you don't live in that room. You come back to the kitchen, you come back to the living room to be able to commune with your friends. But this room is special, and it helps connect the personality, the feel, the vision of the house. That's what the bridge does. It usually will confirm either what the verse has said or what the chorus has said. And oftentimes, most times it's what the chorus said. It's just a different perspective. For those of you who are really visual, like my wife, a good way to describe the bridge would be if you've ever witnessed, not necessarily been in, but if you've ever witnessed a car accident, or I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but if you've ever witnessed a car accident, all right, it can be very intense. And you're watching these two cars hit, you're seeing the pandemonium, you're seeing people come from all directions, maybe within a few minutes you're seeing an ambulance come. The bridge of the song would be like the guy that's in the corner store on the other side of the accident that witnessed it from a different perspective. It's still the same accident. The chorus is the same. It's a different perspective on what happened. It's a different angle on what happened. Maybe it's a painting of the emotion more of what happened. Maybe it's a painting of more of the collision and the explosion and the sounds. That's how I would paint a picture of a bridge. You're changing the perspective of the chorus and letting people kind of rise above the song and or step into the song emotionally, just enough time for you to want to hit that chorus again. Another final thought on the bridge is it lets the song breathe a little bit. It might be intense, but the shift of tone, the shift of chord structure, which 9 times out of 10, the chord structure, the note will change in the bridge and complement the ability to come back to the chorus, allows us that moment of breathing to take in what the song is saying and embrace it fully so that we punch into the chorus and want to come into it again. That's the bridge. Together, these things make up the basic structure of a song. If you want to study this even more and look into songwriting, there are a lot of other things that can make up the body of a song. You know, on a person's body, we have the arms, we have the legs, we have the eyes, the ears, the mouth, but we also have a nose, a tongue, fingers, elbows. Those subcategories of a song I'm not going to go into, but you can research them. Things like refrains, the middle eight that relates to the bridge, a tag, a chorus 2 or 3 kind of says what it means by the title. But you can look into those things. But for now, let's focus on intro, verses, pre-choruses, choruses, and bridges.